Some might argue that the Smith & Wesson 686 is one of the best revolvers ever made. Definitely the sales numbers would argue that as well. The 686, introduced in 1980, is a 6 or 7 shot double action revolver chambered in a .357 Magnum and also fires the .38 Special, based on the Smith & Wesson L medium frame. And there's a lot of things people know about the Smith & Wesson 686, but what we're going to talk about is the top 10 things you probably didn't know about the Smith & Wesson 686 revolver. Number 1. The Smith & Wesson 686 is designed for the .357 Magnum and also take the .38 Special. There was a limited number made for the .38 Super as well. Never seen one out there, but I'd love to get a hold of one of those. Number 2. There are 18 variants of the 686 with barrel lengths from 2.5 inches to 6 inches, including different grip options and a Picatinny rail. There's so many varieties of the 686, there's not too many that are exactly the same. Number 3, Smith & Wesson 686 CS1 was specifically made for U.S. Customs Services. I haven't seen one of those either, but that'd be a great find to have. Number 4, early 686 models, this is pre-1987, had a cylinder binding with some .357 Magnum ammo. And it was in 1987 that Smith & Wesson recalled and had a no-charge upgrade for the 686. If you're ever in the market for a used 686, you can find these by looking for a letter M stamped on them. If you find that letter M, you know that it has been sent in and factory upgraded. Number 5. France, Norway, Luxembourg, and the U.S. all use the Model 686 in their police and military for use in and around water. 686 is an awesome firearm for use in water, and that's why they use it. Number 6. The 686 is a very famous prop in movies. There are 76 movies that have used the 686. Current movies like John Wick and all the way back to the 80s like Lethal Weapon. There's also 20 TV shows, including Breaking Bad and CSI. Number 7. In March 2000, Smith & Wesson reached an agreement with President Clinton that Smith & Wesson would design their guns with smart gun controls, as well as increase prohibited sales in exchange for preferred buying programs. A few 686 were made with experimental fingerprint controls. I'd love to get a hold of one of those. Until there was a massive nationwide boycott of Smith & Wesson when they stopped this agreement and went forward as business as usual. Number 8. Smith & Wesson 586 is the same gun as the 686, but with blued steel instead of stainless steel. Number 9. Smith & Wesson 686 is one of the most accurate revolvers out there. People have argued that they have easily gotten groups under 1 inch at 25 yards. And finally, number 10. If you look at the model number of your 686, if you have a dash in it, that number and the dash signify the evolution of change in the 686. 686 with no dash is the original model. 686-1, they added a radius stud package and a floating hand. That was in 1986. In 1987, they changed the hammer nose and bushings. That's the 686-2. In 1988, they added a New York retention system. That's the 686-3. And in 1993, they changed the rear sight, drill and tap frame, different extractor, Hogue grips. That's the 686-4. 1997, they changed the frame design to eliminate the cylinder stop stud, changed to a metal injection, floating firing pin, and an MIM trigger. That's the 686-5. And finally, in 2001, they added an internal lock, and that's the 686-6. So there you go. There's my top 10 things you probably didn't know about the Smith & Wesson 686. I'm sure there's a lot of things I didn't mention. If there are some, definitely put it in the comments below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. You can also now find us at godfamilyandguns.org and also on Facebook. You can also now be a patron of this channel, and our Patreon link is below. But by far, the most important part of this YouTube channel is it's a ministry to us, and we take prayer requests, so please don't ever hesitate to send that stuff in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.